So here we are. This is you, okay, in the center of the reading. This is you, Queen of Cups, sitting in her throne, in her highest of energy, filled with love in her heart for her kingdom, wanting to nurture and create in a beautiful liquid way. That is you. It is a water energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. But seeing as this reading is about you, Cancer, it's you. It's you, absolutely you in the center. So this entire spread that is going on, like, this is what everything is tied to. Everything is tied to you, of course, but it's tied to you and your highest of energy. Okay, so the Tower came in, broke things open, and you're rising from the ashes as this beautiful queen. And so it's reminding you to always go back to that spot. Go back to that high energy. Go back go back and acknowledge that you are not alone, that you are connected to everyone in your kingdom, that you are helped when you rule with a kind, loving hand. It not only helps you out, but it helps everyone out around you. Okay, so in the love, we have the King of Cups reversed, the unconscious reversed, and the Wheel of Fortune. So so I feel like this is your partner, or this is a partner who it has just come in. Singles, I'll get to you in just a minute. But the King of Cups in reverse is not working in the same space you are, has a potential to, but something is going on with the King of Cups where they are just not, they could be depressed, they could be upset about some of the things that happened, they could even be upset about the Tower that happened to you, and just, it's not feeling, they're feeling disconnected from you, they're feeling not a part of your journey. And it's interesting that we have the unconscious reverse too. So this is the Hangman reverse. And in this reading, I feel like, with the Hanged Man, it often is rising to a higher level, but through challenges, and it's like a breakthrough. But it can, a breakthrough is you have to break something to get through it. So it's not easy. It can be kind of painful, but it's needed, and it will rise you up, and you are breaking open the light. Now with this reverse, I feel like you are rising up, but you have already went through the break, and now you are getting stronger and stronger, and it's easier this time. It's easier because you've already went through the heartache, you've already went through the pain. And so you are rising to a higher level and changing your situation in the relationship. So I think if you are with somebody, then the dynamic is starting to shift here. That you might have been depending on your partner, and now your partner is depending on you. Now this could be vice versa too. That your partner was depending on you, and now you are depending on your partner. But things are shifting, like the energy is circling around each other. And seeing as I have the Queen of Cups here, I really feel like you're the one who is bursting open, and so you are capable of holding space for the King of Cups so that they can go through this kind of dark time of theirs. And because of you being able to help out your partner and be there and, get through this tough patch of depression, of confusion, of possible jealousy, because you dealt with some situations with such incredible grace, and you're still staying really confident in yourself, even though some things really shook you up in December and possibly November. Like the Tower has been showing up for a bunch of signs. So Cancer, you might have already had this, you might have had this going on for some time. But because, your partner's not, just because your partner's going through a tough time doesn't mean it's time for them to leave. I really actually feel like it's a time for you to kind of, well, not to kind of, but to communicate with one another and talk to each other about where you are, so that you can bond and create a stronger union. Now, if you're single, I feel like it's just not time for you to meet this King of Cups. Like, I feel like this is somebody in kind of in the sidelines, and they're going through some tough times right now, but they really care about you and they would like to start something, but they're just not ready. And you're okay with that, because you're going, you're rising up and you're recognizing that time is infinite. Time will always be there, and it's not linear. Time is not linear. It moves through, it circles. And so you are working out your own spiritual loving path, your relationship path with self. And in that journey, you can wait for this King of Cups. They're just not ready for you yet. Okay, so in career, I think you're going to have a big transformation in career. You might lose your job, you have to let go of something in career. You have to, because it's stilting you. It's totally stilting you. It's oppressing you, and it's not letting you use the qualities that are inherent to you. So we have transformation, which is the Death card in other decks. And then we have the King of Discs and the Magician in reverse. Okay, so having these in reverse, like the Magician in reverse, is really like not being able to voice your strength and your power. And it's because you're with this oppressive King of Discs in reverse. I mean, like, King of Discs is just like a hoarder. It's like, steals from the company to make sure that they get to go on their huge, 8-week trip to, I don't know, Peru, which they wouldn't, because Peru is awesome, and I don't know, but Peru was the first thing that came to mind. But your boss is really, working for themselves, working for their best interest, and in doing that is tearing you and the company apart, or whoever you're with. And so it's time to let that go, because it's no longer serving you. You've gained what you need, and either you quit or you get fired. But it's a blessing in disguise, because you haven't been able to be at your highest potential. And even though, like, anytime you get fired, anytime you leave a job, it's terrifying, because you just don't know what's going to happen after that. You have the Magician in reverse, so you have a lot of skills that aren't being utilized at this job. And just because of this spread, I'm going to pull a clarifier just to see. Yeah, you have to let this go, because there is something waiting that will fulfill you. This is the Page of Cups, and pages are messengers of love, messengers of contentment, messengers of something better. So you have to let this go so that you can get the message, and you're not getting it because you're too wrapped up in kind of this materialistic crazy boss who doesn't see you for your worth. Okay, so then we have finance. And it's, here, like, we have two very similar cards in a way, the Nine of Wands and then the Seven of Discs. And I'll get to the Star in just a minute. All right, so the Nine of Wands is, standing your ground, even though you've went through the gamut. You've already went through battle. You're tired, you're beaten, but you will still stand guard because you have faith and you believe in what you're doing. However, even though you're doing this, you're just not seeing the returns. You're not seeing everything happen the way you had anticipated. And so having these two cards right next to each other in finance is saying, like, I'm willing to work, but how much do I have to work before I actually see any payoff? The star is saying, have faith, have trust, do what you love, it's coming. Okay? So the star is, trust is, and also, like, I like the star because it is ruled by Aquarius, and Aquarius is quirky and unconventional. So this, you're like, how come I'm not seeing the return? Well, the star is right here to tell you, well, it's coming, but it's going to be interesting. It's going to be out of this world, So the star is, thinks out of the box, really. I mean, you can just tell by the card. I mean, this beautiful woman, or it could be a man. Well, I'm pretty sure it's a woman. It's a woman. But in your life, it could be a man. However, what I'm saying about the star is that pouring water here, but pouring water into the veins of the river that flows to this. Who would think of doing that, And the stars shining through. Oh, I love it. I love it. So just, if you feel it in your heart, if you feel it in your heart, the body will follow. And you will start to get your returns. You're going to start to see it, but it's just going to be something you never anticipated, but it will be worthwhile. And then in health, we have the 9 of Swords and the Ace of Wands reversed, and then Justice reversed. So here we are, 9 of Wands reversed. It's really asking you to stop worrying. Stop it. It's keeping you, that's what's keeping you up is, worrying over nothing. It's like I know you've had a lot of trials and tribulations, but they are definitely going to work out. You have to have faith. Have faith. Let it go. Stop worrying. Because the worrying, you're not seeing what's coming in. There's this hunch, there's this newness, there's this new beginning, this creative endeavor that wants to come in, but you're not allowing it. Like you're putting the brakes on all this. I mean, because you're in the center, so it is truly you. You're the one who's saying, I can't do it. I cannot. I don't deserve it. I'm just going to, eat all night. That's it. I'm not going to work out. I'm not going to take care of myself. There's not time for that anyways. Well, that's not helping you out. And because of that, you're not in it. Your body, your mind, your spirit isn't as healthy as it could be. And because of that, you're losing opportunities. So you have to get your health up and going because you're losing out. And then we have justice reversed. So this is like really being out of balance, and you're not making clear decisions, which is going to affect you, in all realms. There's just, and so justice in reverse is saying you're completely out of balance and your decisions aren't clear because of it, and it will affect everything. So my Queen of Cups, my Cancer, you have to stop worrying. Get a massage. Sip yummy rose hip tea with a little bit of honey in it. It's so beautiful. Eat some greens. Talk to your dear friends. Open up to them. These are things that you need to do in January to relieve the stress and get yourself back in balance so that you can carry on in all aspects of life. All right, let's call on Mother Moon and see what is the added energy for Cancer. Before I pull this card, I'm just looking at your spread. I want to point out, Cancer, how beautiful we have the Wheel of Fortune and the Star, and then this lovely message of the Page of Cups. And so these beautiful things want to come into your life. And justice in reverse is saying, I will bring those into you once you come back to equilibrium. So it's up to you after this tower, which will be easy compared to everything that you've already been through. You've already been to hell and back like 8,000 times, Cancer. And that's why you can sit on this throne of compassion, because you know what it's like to be there. But there's still some hesitancy coming up that you need to focus on and take care of so that you can bring all aspects into fruition. Okay. So we have Pajapati, and this is all about patience. And that's really beautiful, especially with everything that is down here in your health. Is the Nine of Swords. You might feel anxiety, anxious, like, why is this all happening? I need to take care of it. Everything is a mess. I don't have time. Patience. Have patience. Up here, even Nine of Wands, Seven of Discs. Have patience. Have patience in everything you're doing. Everything is right on time. Okay, so I'm going to actually pull from the book and read just a little bit of what it has to say, because usually it's really poignant and a wonderful place to end the reading on, and gives you something to think about throughout the month. Okay, so Pajapati, patience. If patience is the card that life is dealing you at the moment, downshift and hold steady. Pajapati, stepmother to the Buddha, learned this lesson all too well. Again and again she asked her son if she might join him and his monks in a life committed to enlightenment. Though she had suckled him and wiped his nose, he refused her request. But instead of reacting imprudently, Pajapati followed the Buddha 150 miles on foot with hundreds of aspiring nuns. Finally, her patience paid off. The Buddha relented, and Pajapati earned the right for women to seek enlightenment. Aha! So stay patient, Cancers. Enlightenment is coming. The wheel of fortune is turning. The star wishes you some love and light in a very quirky way, and the Page of Cups has a message for you.